At the start of the movie, we see two dinosaurs who are a couple. They have 3 eggs in front of them, and soon, baby dinosaurs will hatch from them. The eggs hatch, and 3 cute baby dinosaurs come out. 2 of them are strong and active. One is still sitting inside the egg. This one is smaller and not coming out. Parents name this baby dinosaur Arlo. The dinosaur couple takes their babies outside and shows them their home. They often do farming and love each other. Time goes by, and the baby dinosaurs grow up. The other dinosaurs are more active than Arlo. The baby dinosaurs help their parents. But when Arlo is asked to do something, he can't do it. One day, the dinosaur parents call their babies. They explain that winter is coming, and they need to store a lot of food. They have a storeroom for this. The father dinosaur puts his footprint in the ground. All the babies get excited and say they want to put their footprints too. But the father stops them. You can only put your footprints when you do something big. When you feel you have done something important in life, then you can set your footprints. I will wait for that day. He decides to test them and says, if you do the work well that I give you, you can set your footprints today. Everyone gets excited, but Arlo is still scared. Arlo's brother collects wood by lifting huge trees, and Arlo's sister cleans the farm. They both get permission to set their footprints. Arlo hasn't done anything, so his father doesn't allow him to set his footprint. And his brother comes and starts teasing him, saying, "You can't do anything." Arlo says, "I tried a lot, but I couldn't do it." But his brother keeps teasing him. Then the rest of the family arrives and scolds Arlo's brother. Arlo says, "You all think I can't do anything. One day, I will do something, and I will set my footprint here." At night, while Arlo is sleeping, his father comes to him and asks him to come with him. They start walking together. He wants to remove Arlo's fear. He tells Arlo to be confident because it is not difficult for him. Then Arlo goes back to sleep. The next morning, they wake up and see that someone has taken their stored food. They are all worried, but Arlo's father says, "My son, this is the time to check your confidence. What did you understand from me? What did you learn?" Arlo's father tells him, "Your task is to catch the animal that stole our food. You have to trap it in the net and kill it." Arlo is happy to hear this. His father helps him set the trap. They put corn where the trap is. Suddenly, a wild kid comes and starts picking the corn. It turns out the thief is not an animal, but this wild kid. Arlo quickly throws the trap on him, and the kid gets stuck in the net. The kid screams and pleads in his language to be set free. Arlo is scared when he sees and hears the kid. He wonders what kind of strange creature he is. Confused, Arlo lifts the trap, and the wild kid runs away. When Arlo's father arrives, he scolds him, saying, "What have you done?" Arlo's father says, "You let him go after catching him. Your fear has ruined everything. Stop being scared and come with me." Arlo's father wasn't scolding him without a reason. He wants to make Arlo a brave and good dinosaur. He wants the world to be scared of Arlo, not Arlo to be scared of the world. Arlo's father takes him to a forest. It starts raining, and the weather is bad. Arlo gets scared and says, "Father, let's go back." His father says, "Keep quiet and walk with me." There is loud thunder in the sky. Arlo's heart beats fast because he is not brave. The rain makes the ground slippery, and they keep slipping on the stones. While walking, Arlo twists his foot and falls down. Arlo tells his father to stop. His father says, "I feel bad for bringing you here. If I don't help you overcome your fear, what will you do when you're older?" "Okay, let's go back." But then it starts raining heavily. A strong wind blows, and a storm comes. A flood carries stones and everything with it. Arlo's father throws Arlo up with his mouth and tail so he doesn't get caught in the flood. The father stays down and is taken away by the flood. Arlo has lost his father. Arlo goes back home and starts working with his siblings. He stays sad. While working, Arlo sees the same wild kid. He remembers that his father told him to catch and kill him. Arlo starts running toward the kid. He catches him, but then falls into a stream and is carried far away. Arlo faints. When Arlo wakes up, he finds himself alone and feels sad. But then he sees the wild kid again. Arlo starts following him and comes to a higher place. He sees the stream flowing towards his home and remembers what his father said. "When you see the stream, don't be scared. You will find your way home." Arlo starts walking along the stream but feels hungry. He sees a fruit. Arlo sees a fruit high in a tree and stands on a stone to reach it. As he eats the fruit, the stone slips, and he falls, getting his foot stuck between the stones. Despite trying hard, he can't free himself and falls asleep. In the morning, Arlo wakes up to find his foot free. He notices small footprints around and realizes the wild kid helped him. Gaining courage, Arlo starts building a shelter and collecting wood. The wild kid returns with a lizard for Arlo, but Arlo tells him to keep it away. The wild kid brings a huge insect for Arlo to eat, but Arlo, a plant eater, refuses. Understanding what Arlo wants, the kid brings him the fruit he had seen before, and Arlo quickly eats it. The kid then leads Arlo to a tree full of the same fruit, but stops him from approaching. Arlo soon understands why when a huge snake emerges. The wild kid fights the snake, scaring it away. As they continue, a giant animal with birds on its horns appears from the woods. Since the animals can talk, the giant animal suggests Arlo name him. Arlo decides to call him Spot. Spot turns around when he hears his name, and Arlo and Spot become friends. They start walking together. Arlo is trying to find his way home, but can't figure out the path. They pass by tall grass, and when Arlo moves his tail through it, many fireflies come out. Arlo feels happy at first, but then remembers his father used to do this to make him happy. This makes him sad again. Arlo sits down and builds a small model with blocks of wood in the mud to show Spot about his family. 5 blocks for his family, but his father is gone. When Spot doesn't react, Arlo feels sad, thinking no one understands. Spot then builds a similar model with 3 small blocks and 2 big blocks. He looks at the small block sadly because it represents himself. Spot wants to show that his parents were killed and he is alone. They hug each other and sit together, feeling sad. The next day, they continue their journey, but a storm starts. It rains heavily, and the flood returns. Arlo is scared and hides under a tree. When he wakes up, he is far from the stream and can't see it anywhere. He feels sad and starts moving forward. Arlo encounters some clever-looking birds and asks them where the stream is because he wants to go home. The birds say they don't know, and only come out to eat the birds that died in the storm or flood. They then ask Arlo if he has seen the wild kid and want to know more about him. Now, Arlo was scared of the birds because he had seen them eat a small fox-like animal right in front of him. In his fear, Arlo tells the birds where Spot is. But when he realizes they are following him, he puts Spot on his back and starts running. Suddenly, they encounter enormous dinosaurs, much bigger than Arlo's parents. Frightened, Arlo runs in the opposite direction. Then, a huge dinosaur, the father of the others, appears and calls Arlo back, reassuring him, "Don't be scared, we are vegetarians too." Arlo asks him, "Can you tell me where the stream is? I want to go home." The big dinosaur agrees, but says he needs help first because someone has stolen his cows. He asks Arlo and Spot to help find them. They begin searching and eventually find the cows. The giant dinosaur points out that the thieves are nearby, and Spot asks Arlo to stand on a stone and scream to draw them out. Nervous but determined to find his way home, Arlo climbs onto the stone. His first attempt at screaming is too quiet, not dinosaur-like at all. Spot then bites his foot, causing Arlo to let out a loud, genuine roar. The thieves, weak dinosaur-like creepy birds, emerge upon hearing Arlo's scream. At that moment, the giant dinosaurs rush in and start attacking the thieves. Finally, those weak and creepy dinosaurs run away. The giant dinosaurs reclaim their cows and prepare to leave, with Arlo and Spot. That night, they sit around a fire, talking. The giant dinosaur begins boasting about his strength, recounting various feats. Arlo, inspired, says, "My father was powerful too, and he never got scared." The giant dinosaur responds gently, "No, my son, that's not true. Everyone feels fear. It's a part of nature. When you learn to face your fears, you will become strong. Don't worry, we'll leave for your home in the morning." Next morning, they all set off, even the giant dinosaur's cows. As they walk, they reach a peak so high their heads are in the clouds. From there, they can see the mountains in the distance with a stream flowing nearby, indicating that Arlo's home is close. The giant dinosaur turns to Arlo and Spot, saying, "Kids, I've brought you here. We have to go back now. Safely reach your home." Arlo starts jumping and running towards his home, with Spot by his side. Then we see a wild human speaking like them. Spot stares at the human, and as he moves towards him, Arlo holds him back, making him sit on his back and continuing forward. They reach a group of stones, but the creepy birds return, grabbing Spot and taking him away. Arlo tries to free Spot but ends up falling and getting stuck in the wild trees, trapped badly. Feeling sad and desperate, Arlo suddenly sees his father appear in front of him. Arlo quickly frees himself from the tree traps and starts following his father. "Father, you came back. You were here," Arlo says, But then he notices that while his own footprints are visible in the wet mud, his father's are not. Realizing it was just his imagination, Arlo hears his father's voice in his mind, encouraging him to search for Spot. Determined, Arlo decides to find Spot. Arlo moves forward, screaming loudly, and sees the creepy birds trying to get to Spot, who is hiding in a piece of wood. He screams loudly, but then a flood comes, sweeping everything away. Ignoring the danger, Arlo jumps into the stream and manages to save Spot, although he is badly wounded in the process. Despite his injuries, Arlo carries Spot on his back and moves forward. They encounter the wild human again, and this time, Arlo allows Spot to go to him. Spot runs towards the man and realizes he is his father, surrounded by Spot's mother and siblings. Spot, however, returns to Arlo and sits on him, indicating he still wants to stay with Arlo and search for his family. Arlo gently nudges Spot towards his family, saying, "This is your place. You deserve love and care." They say a sad, unwilling goodbye, and Arlo continues his journey towards his family. Eventually, Arlo sees his home in the distance and starts weeping. His mother and siblings come to meet him, and they all embrace. Arlo's mother acknowledges his bravery, saying, "You have done a great job. Now is the day you will fulfill your father's dream." He said that when you do great work, you can set your footprint. Arlo, feeling happy, sets his footprint alongside his father's, symbolizing that he has become the strong, courageous dinosaur his father always wanted him to be. Although his father is no longer with him, Arlo knows he will always stay strong and remember his father's teachings. With this, the story of the movie ends. I hope you enjoyed this movie. Please hit the like button and subscribe for more movie summaries. Thank you for watching.